So hi, my name is Marie Sophie, like Kira said. I am a Quebec-based nonprofit real estate developer that try to build affordable homes that people can purchase without a down payment. And we ensure these homes will remain affordable without any down payment requirements for every future homeowners. So I decided to become a real estate developer and start building condos when I was in a protest I helped organize a couple of years ago, where I was screaming, no more condos. I was feeling completely powerless and overwhelmed, and we somehow wanted gentrification to end completely now. And our solution, more social housing and bring back the 1993 social housing program. And I keep fond memories of that year in 1993 because I was 5 years old back then. And then I had a sudden epiphany. What if we were granted all of that? Maybe the growing unaffordability of our cities is too big of a problem to be tackled by social housing alone. We now live within the paradigm of the neoliberal city. Cities are integrated into fast and elusive financial circuits, turning homes into liquid assets. Speculation has become a global phenomenon. So here I was thinking that maybe social housing wouldn't solve all of our problems. And that's not something you say out loud in that kind of protest, you know? And don't get me wrong, I still believe that social housing is a crucial and effective tool. But I also believe that it should be one in many. We need a lot of new tools in our toolbox to truly rise up to the challenge of growingly and affordable cities. So that's when I started to think about homeownership and condos differently. What if we could build condos without their speculative side effects? An ethical housing solution for the middle class in cities that doesn't produce eviction, displacement, and growing levels of debt. So that's when I left my job as a community organizer around social housing issues and joined my current associates, Louise Adair and Manon Sainte-Marie. Louise and Manon were working on this homeownership model that's often called shared equity homeownership. And to be fair, there's nothing groundbreaking about our model per se. It's been around since the 60s. There are more than 2,500,000 shared equity homes in the US. We basically stole, with their enthusiastic permission, the Champlain Housing Trust model, which is a community land trust based in Burlington, Vermont. So in a nutshell, the model works like this. First, we invest a down payment into a home, a good old-fashioned 20% down payment. And it's very important. It's not a subsidy that we give to an owner. It's truly locked in the home, and it will always remain there. A family that wants to buy that house pays no down payment whatsoever and takes out a mortgage representing 80% of that value. They are now the owner. They make their monthly mortgage payment. When they want to resell, they get back everything they've paid so far on their mortgage, plus 25% of the market appreciation, or the plus value. So they now have an equity that they didn't have at the beginning. And with the 75% remaining of the plus value, we reinvest into that home to pass it along to a new owner, and we develop more affordable homes. So sometimes it's hard for people who are already homeowners to wrap their heads around the fact that some people, especially us, young people, don't care about the speculative potential of our property. We don't want a home to make money. We want a home to live in it. And these people are my friends, people in their early 30s, starting a family, wanting to build some form of equity, and waking up to a pretty brutal market where the cards are stacked against us. And what I'm witnessing around me is this. People who buy their first home into this economy fits either one of these two categories. One, they married a doctor, and that's not a joke. And two, their parents helped them with the down payment. And that, for me, is a major red flag. To this day, homeownership remains one of the most used approaches in building personal equity, family wealth. This is an uneven playing field for growing intergenerational inequity and a slippery slope towards the erosion of the middle class. But still, we're being served the proverbial, be smart with your finances, save money, here are 5 fun ways to save money for your down payment. We are downloading the burden of a structural affordability crisis on the shoulder of the younger generation by telling them to stop buying lattes and iPhones. And if only we were 2 lattes away from stopping the financialization of housing. And even then, even if you save, let's say, for a 5% down payment with the CMHC prime, interest rates are slowly but surely rising right now. Market conditions are tightening. Stress tests are being introduced. These solutions are a ticking bomb for the explosion of mortgage debt. And since income debt, household debt in Canada are higher than in any other country, we can only outdo ourselves here. Now, the point can be made that tools and practices used by private real estate developers and investors got us into this mess in the first place. Tools like large-scale land grab, speculative acquisition, excessive profit margin, real estate investment trust, mortgage-backed securities, and clearly these tools work. These are very efficient tools. The only thing is they've only been used to one end, and it's maximize private profit. So at Vivacité, we decided to hijack some of these tools and repurpose them for the community control of the land. So we want to think like activists, but act like developers. So I'll share with you 3 of these hijacked tools today. Number 1, we adopted a scattered portfolio model. So with this tool, basically what you do is that you invest in different markets, and it's unlikely that they will all crash at the same time. So you balance your risk. So instead of reaching for a maximum rate of return here, we use that tool to create a territorial solidarity between the urban and the rural regions in Quebec. So we can afford to invest in more rural or remote markets because we have projects in stronger ones like Montreal. So in a way, our projects cross-subsidize each other. Tool number 2, make a profit margin. Any real estate developer aims to make a profit margin, which is simply put the difference between the project overall cost and its recognized market value or its price. Usually, in affordable housing, the reflex would be to, leave the profit on the table and sell below market price. We decided to go on a different route and to capture that value. So we made a partnership with la Caisse d'économie solidaire, a Quebec credit union, where they agreed to treat this value gap as part of the owner down payment. So basically, through the black magic of financialized real estate, although the money never materializes, the value is still acknowledged. And this is a key part of our social economy model that greatly reduces our need in external capital. And apparently, according to our partner in the US, that could be a game changer in the world of shared equity homeownership. And tool number 3, work with private investors. Traditionally, in the housing sector, homeownership has been a kind of a blind spot. So it means that in Quebec, at least, there are no pre-existing subsidy program for affordable homeownership. And in the early years, we tried to get such a program created. And it took a while, and then we got bored. Okay, we got rejected, but that led us to realize that maybe we could get rid of subsidies altogether and make it work with private investment alone. So this is basically what we are doing at the moment. We are building our first investment fund to finance the construction of our first 2,500 homes. And let's be honest, this is a long process. It hasn't been easy. It's a long road. So, adopt a scattered portfolio model, make a profit margin, work with impact investors and private investors. This is, in fact, a pretty straightforward approach. so straightforward. In fact, it took us 7 years of hard work and trials and error to figure it out. Now, the reason we fight for purposely affordable homes is not because we believe that homeownership is the holy grail of individual happiness. We do it because we believe that solidarity-based option should be available at every step of the housing continuum in Canada, from emergency shelter all the way to homeownership. And we do it because we believe that the phenomenal amount of value being produced right now by the real estate market should be a collective asset and not a private one. Thank you.